Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're tackling telephone switchboard operators. We're going way past your typical job description today and figuring out what it really takes to ace that interview.
It's all about knowing what to expect and how to showcase your unique skills and experiences. And to guide us on this deep dive, we have RoleCatcher's Career and Interview Guides.
Okay, so let's just jump right in. Let's say you're prepping for this interview and you get the classic question. Can you describe your experience operating a telephone switchboard? Seems pretty straightforward, but is there more to it?
There's always more to it. It's your chance to demonstrate a real passion for this line of work, not just like you're reading off a resume. Did you go through like formal training? Have you worked with different kinds of switchboards or consoles? Those details really make a difference.
It's like saying, yeah, I like cooking versus explaining your grandma's secret spaghetti sauce recipe.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of details, how about this one? How do you handle difficult or irate callers?
Ooh, yeah, we've all been on the receiving end of those calls.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's actually what the interviewers want to hear about. They want to see empathy. They want to see composure. Think back to a time when you successfully turned a frustrating call into a positive experience. Did you go above and beyond? Did you maybe just listen patiently? It's all about showing how you stay calm and solution-oriented.
It's about navigating the situation, not just diffusing it.
Exactly.
Okay, I've got another question for you. Can you give an example of a time when you had to handle multiple calls at once? I mean, this just screams multitasking.
Absolutely, and it's all about organization and prioritization. Did you use a specific system? Did you create a mental shorthand? Whatever your method was, share the how behind your multitasking magic.
You can't just say, I'm a good multitasker. You have to actually show them.
Exactly. Show, don't tell, right?
Okay, how about confidentiality? This one feels super relevant these days. How would you approach the question? How do you ensure confidentiality when handling sensitive information?
This goes way beyond I'm a discreet person. You have to show them you really understand data privacy. You could talk about protocols you follow, like verifying caller identity, secure record keeping, stuff like that. You need to show them that you take data security very seriously.
Like you're not going to spill any company secrets because you accidentally transferred a call to the wrong department.
Precisely.
Okay, so now for a bit of a curveball. How do you handle a situation where a caller is not able to provide necessary information? I feel like this would be tricky to navigate in the moment.
It definitely takes a combination of problem solving and people skills.
Hmm.
Think about how you would guide a caller without making them feel, lost or incompetent. You could mention strategies like using a directory, maybe transferring to another department, or politely explaining the information that's required.
So it's like being a detective and a diplomat at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay, now let's imagine you're in the hot seat and you get hit with, can you explain how you would handle an emergency call? I'm already feeling the pressure.
Me too. This one is all about staying composed under pressure. It's about emphasizing your ability to gather that crucial information quickly and calmly. Maybe you have a mental checklist or a specific technique for remembering key details. Mention it. Show them you can follow those emergency protocols like a pro.
Stay calm, get the info, follow the protocol.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, last tough one for this section. How about this? Can you describe how you would handle a situation where a caller is threatening harm to themselves or others?
Now, this is a serious situation. This goes beyond a typical emergency because it requires de-escalation. What you say here is super important. You want to convey that you stay calm, take the threat seriously, and that you'll follow company procedures for reporting and getting the authorities involved if necessary.
Okay, so it sounds like going through these kinds of questions really shows you how important preparation is for these interviews. So how do people prepare? That's where RoleCatcher comes in, right?
Absolutely. RoleCatcher's AI is like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket. You can practice answering these exact questions, and the AI analyzes your responses and gives you feedback. It even suggests ways to tailor your answers for specific job roles, which is really cool.
So it's not just general advice, it's personalized guidance for you. That's pretty amazing.
Exactly. And it's a total game changer for interview prep. And don't forget about all those little details we talked about earlier, like mentioning specific types of switchboards or training programs. Well, RoleCatcher's career guides are full of that kind of inside information, which can really help you stand out from the crowd.
It's like having a cheat sheet for sounding super knowledgeable about the field.
Exactly.
Okay, so we just walked through some seriously tough interview questions.
Yeah, definitely.
But now let's talk about you, like actually rocking this role.
Right.
So what does a telephone switchboard operator career path really look like?
It's actually more than just answering calls.
All right.
RoleCatcher's career guide actually breaks down those different stages, so you can really envision yourself progressing through the ranks.
Oh, cool. So it's like a little sneak peek into the future of your career.
Exactly. You start at an entry level, obviously, and that's where you're really learning the ropes. Answering calls, transferring them correctly, assisting with those basic inquiries. It's all about building that solid foundation, both with the technology and with your people skills.
Okay, so you're not just like thrown into the deep end on day one.
No, not at all. They ease you in.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and then as you move to like a junior level position, you start handling more calls, maybe troubleshooting some minor technical glitches and even training new team members. You become kind of like the go-to person for those everyday challenges.
Okay, so this is where we start to see how those interview questions actually connect to the real day-to-day responsibilities.
Exactly. Highlighting those experiences is super valuable in an interview. And then let's say you're going for a senior operator position. Now that's where you're getting into leadership skills. You're supervising a team, you're making sure things are running smoothly, you're handling those really complex calls that require, a little extra finesse.
So you're not just managing calls, you're managing people too.
Exactly. And then for those who are really ambitious, moving into a managerial role is definitely a possibility.
Wow, so you could go from answering calls to leading a whole department. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really shows the potential for growth in this field.
That's awesome.
Ugh.
Speaking of growth, let's talk about standing out in those interviews. We already covered some of the hard skills, but what about those all-important soft skills?
Oh, the soft skills, those are huge.
Yeah, those kind of intangible qualities that can really make or break you in an interview. So where do we even start?
Well, I think communication is key, and I can't stress that enough. It's not just about speaking clearly, but it's also about actively listening to that person on the other end of the line, understanding their cues, and responding in a way that shows empathy.
Okay, so even though you're not face-to-face, you're still like building a rapport with them.
100%. And let's be real, you're going to be dealing with people who are stressed, confused, maybe even angry. And that's where patience and a positive attitude become so important.
Yeah, I know I've definitely been that frustrated caller before.
Right.
And sometimes just hearing a calm voice on the other end can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. It can totally de-escalate the situation. And those are the qualities that interviewers are looking for. Someone who can stay cool under pressure, maintain their professionalism, and turn a potentially negative interaction into a positive one.
So it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But how do you actually showcase those soft skills, like during an interview? It's one thing to say you're a good listener, but it's another thing to prove it.
That's where those tell me about a time questions come in.
Oh, yeah?
Interviewers love to hear concrete examples of how you've used your skills in real situations.
Like the classic, tell me about a time you dealt with a difficult customer.
Exactly. And that's when a technique like the STAR method can be super helpful.
STAR method, remind us what that is again.
So STAR stands for situation, task, action, result. It helps you structure your answer in a way that's really clear and concise and highlights your skills.
Okay, so instead of just saying I'm patient, you would describe a specific situation, the challenge you faced, the action you took, and then the positive outcome you achieved.
Precisely. It brings your experience to life and shows the interviewer that you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk.
You're showing them what you're made of.
Exactly. And speaking of walking the walk, let's not forget about the importance of researching the company before the interview. That always makes a good impression.
Oh yeah, good old-fashioned homework.
Right.
Why is that especially important for a telephone switchboard operator?
It shows that you're actually interested in the company and the position. You're not just applying to every job posting you see.
Right, you're not just there for a paycheck.
Exactly. Take some time to understand their values, their mission, their culture.
So I shouldn't just walk in blind, I should have some background knowledge.
Exactly. Browse their website, check out their social media, maybe see if there are any recent news articles about them.
So I can be like, hey, I actually want to work here.
Exactly. It shows initiative and a genuine desire to be part of their team.
Okay, I'm sensing a theme here. It's not just about those hard skills, it's about the whole package.
Yeah, it really is.
It's the communication, the problem-solving, that positive attitude. And RoleCatcher can help you bring all of that together.
Right, absolutely. Their AI-powered platform analyzes your answers to those tough interview questions, and it gives you personalized feedback on your delivery. It even helps you tailor your responses to specific job roles and companies. It's like having a whole team of career coaches right there on your phone.
It really is like having a secret weapon for nailing your dream job.
Oh.
Okay, so we talked about the importance of soft skills, but what are some concrete examples that interviewers are looking for in a telephone switchboard operator?
Okay, so put yourself in the caller's shoes for a second.
Okay.
You pick up the phone, you need help. What qualities would make you feel heard and understood and confident that the person on the other end actually has your back?
Okay, so I'm picturing someone who is patient,
Hmm.
obviously a good listener, and also someone who can explain things clearly, without making me feel dumb for asking a question.
Exactly. Those are all crucial soft skills for this role. You have to remember, you're often the first point of contact for a company.
It's true.
You need to be able to handle all sorts of personalities and situations and still remain professional and, positive.
So it's almost like you're a brand ambassador in a way because you're conveying the company's image through your tone of voice and your overall demeanor.
100%. And that's why interviewers really pay attention to how you present yourself, even during a phone interview.
They pick up on those subtle cues.
Oh, absolutely. They're listening to your communication style, how you approach problems, even your overall demeanor.
So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it. Which is interesting because it's a phone interview and they can't see you.
It's true, but they can definitely hear it.
Okay, so then how do you actually nail those soft skills during a phone interview?
Well, remember that STAR method we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
That's going to be your best friend. So let's say the interviewer asks, tell me about a time you went above and beyond for a customer.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, oh, I'm a people person, use the STAR method to tell a compelling story, a story that shows those qualities in action.
So you described the situation, the task, the action you took, and then the positive result.
Exactly. And by doing that, you're not just telling them, you're showing them.
Showing, not telling.
Yes. And this is another area where RoleCatcher can really come in handy.
Oh yeah, how so?
Their career guides are full of real-life examples of how those soft skills translate into successful telephone switchboard operator experiences.
So it's like getting a sneak peek at what impresses hiring managers the most.
Precisely. And don't forget about their AI-powered platform. You can actually practice answering those tricky interview questions and get personalized feedback on your delivery. It even helps you tailor your responses to specific companies and roles.
It's like having a whole team of career coaches in your pocket.
I love that analogy.
Wow, we covered a ton of ground today. We talked about nailing those interview questions, navigating your career path, and really mastering those essential soft skills.
We really did.
And it sounds like the biggest takeaway here is be prepared.
100%. The more you understand the role, the company, your own strengths, the more confident you'll be going into that interview.
And that confidence will shine through whether you're in person or on a video call.
Absolutely.
So to all of you listening out there getting ready for your big telephone switchboard operator interview, take a deep breath, remember all the amazing advice we talked about, and most importantly, believe in yourself. You got this.
Yes, you got this. Good luck out there.